live and
We start with the usual spiel, right?
I just don't do that.
What? Yeah. No, I'm behaving myself. I'm not playing in abandoned buildings. What? Again? Now, I suppose you had those people follow me again. Fine. Hey, this is Jimmy Farrow from Monty and the Pharaoh, and I want to thank all our subscribers. We have now passed 14,000 on our YouTube channel. But I want to ask our subscribers to take the next step for us and become a full-fledged member of Monty and the Pharaoh. Yeah, that's right, folks. There's 3 different levels to choose from. There's free shirts. There's free autographs. Just check it out and become a member of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. Later.
All right, welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh, seen only here out of Indie Music TV, straight out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. Hope all is well out there. Before we get into it, to the right is the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow. Jimmy, how are you?
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Very good.
Lovely.
So for all the people out there, we do apologize. Abdullah was having trouble hearing us through the
Modern technology?
modern technology.
Very good.
So we had to kind of bail out of it. Not really his fault, right? Just techie problems.
Is what it is.
So I do apologize to the fans out there who
He'll
are
be
waiting.
back.
So
He'll be back.
Anyway, so if anyone's seen the channel lately, we've added a bunch of shows, and we've been trying to work through that.
Sure.
So we've been having a lot of, like, when you do this internet type of streaming with, we do a lot of live studio interviews, right?
Right.
But when you do the streaming, obviously modern technology is a problem. So we kind of got to do an audible, right? Because this was built around Abby and his GoFundMe and everything else.
Right.
So I want to apologize to everybody once again. So we're going to answer some questions before we get into the show.
We are?
Sure, why not?
Okay. What you got?
Let's see. Let's first of all say a few to Matthew Holland. Welcome, brother. Good to see you. Rick B in the house.
Welcome.
Don and Barbara.
Welcome.
Jason, great to see you. The Dank Crusader, what's up?
What is up?
Always good to see you. Mitch in the house.
Nice.
Yeah, Mitch. Abby was again. He was having trouble hearing sound. I don't know if they're super techie on the phone. So what we're gonna do? We'll get into it, but we're gonna kind of maybe we'll just do a little. Ask Monty and the Pharaoh anything.
Sure, why not?
Right, no matter what they want to ask.
That's a great idea. I like that.
I'll answer one question. Will Tony Atlas be back on the channel?
That's a great question.
So, Pharaoh, you want to answer that question?
No, you have more information than that, Pharaoh.
Tony quite often. In fact, we're going to try to have him in studio next week when we have Ventura, Coco Beware, the Conquistadors, and... Did I say Ventura?
Yeah, you said Ventura.
There you go.
You said Ventura.
And Tommy Rich.
Right.
So I was hoping to have...
Does Tony call you in the middle of the night? I'm just curious.
Tony does not call me in the middle of the night.
Does he know not to? Like you let him know in advance? Or is this you just a lucky guy and Tony doesn't decide to call you in the middle of the night?
Just doesn't call me in the middle of the night.
Nice. You've done well. Okay. He doesn't call me at all, so how would I know what's going on with Tony? So what's this? Is he coming back
Donna
soon?
Barber says, by the way, the Jets just drafted a wide receiver. Go figure.
At number 4?
Yeah.
At the 4th pick?
Yeah, with a wide receiver.
At the fourth pick.
At the fourth pick.
I thought that. What happened to all the pass rushes? Somebody tell me what's going on out there.
First
please.
of all, if you know anything about football, you don't pick a receiver.
What are they doing?
That high in the draft.
No, absolutely
not. It never
not.
changes.
Absolutely not.
It never changes.
And it goes to show too, because there was a stud that wants to leave San Fran, not to bore anybody, and they could have traded the 10th pick probably for the stud. He's 25. Bring him here, but they just wasted the 4th pick. Look, if he's not Michael Irvin, this is a bust.
Jay Will says the Falcons did the same.
The Falcons?
Yeah, they drafted a wide receiver.
Wow,
so
what's going on here? I thought this was top-heavy on edge rushers. I don't know what's happening here.
All right, so news. Jim Carrey reacts to bonkers theory. He's been impersonating a secretly dead Joe Biden.
Bonkers
According to a recent conspiracy theory, Jim Carrey doesn't play President Joe Biden on Saturday Night Live. The Sonic the Hedgehog 2-star has he fallen that far down the ladder? He's recognized as the Sonic the Hedgehog 2-star?
This is the Riddler. This is the Mask. No. This is Fire Marshal Bill, for God's sakes, and they're Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I didn't know they even made 2 of them. All right,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, he's falling.
Scott, how are you, brother? Good to see you. Roy, always good to see you.
So what? They're saying that he's one of multiple impersonators impersonating the president, who's not really alive, and that's just a bunch of impersonators.
That is correct.
You know what his response was, right?
Go ahead, man.
Really now? That's fucked up, man. No, that's weird. That's very strange.
That's it? That's all you got?
What am I supposed to say? I'm going to play.
Is it possible?
I'm playing Biden next week. What are you talking about?
Let's hear your Biden impression.
I don't have one. He has no flavor. Shit. You know what it is? It's really hard to imitate somebody who's got no flavor. He's no pizzazz there.
Sharon Osbourne reveals Ozzy Osbourne has more operations amid his health battle. The Black Sabbath rocker underwent surgery after he suffered a fall in Los Angeles home while recovering from pneumonia. He also announced that he's got Parkinson's disease. 73-year-old has been plagued with neck and spine issues and has been unable to perform ever since the fall. But Sharon revealed on Piers Morgan, news show Uncensored on Wednesdays, that Ozzy had one operation left to go before he joined her in the UK. Now, you're a big Ozzy guy.
Yeah,
How does it make you feel?
What do you mean, how does it make me feel? I wish nothing but well for Ozzy Osbourne. I love Ozzy Osbourne.
Does it make you sad?
Yeah, of course. But you know what, though? He's 73 years old. Most people would have said there's no way you're going to make it to 50 back in the days when he was king of the world in the heavy metal kingdom of Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath is the greatest heavy metal band, or at least the most important and the point of origin of heavy metal. The guy, to me, is just, I love him. And he's terribly misrepresented. People think that, because of his image and everything, he's like some sort of Satanist over the years. You know, kind of shit some of us kids got listening to Black Sabbath back in the day from our responsible parents. Please, give me a break. Guy's been going to church every week as long as he can for like 1,000,000 years. So people aren't really too clued into who Ozzy the person is in my mind. But, yeah, he's wacky, but he's lovable wacky. And after John Lennon and Jim Morrison, there's not a voice that's more important to this guy. And that's how I feel about Ozzy effing Osbourne. Get well, Ozzy. I love you, Ozzy. There you go.
Jason Kessler says he loves Ozzy, too.
Love Ozzy.
Couple of questions. Chris out there says he misses Tuesdays with Tony. Rick B. also says he misses Tuesdays with Tony.
Sure.
So I'll tell you that, like I said, we're going to try to bring Tony in this Thursday, but he's got a booking. So we were discussing. So if you notice, Tony hasn't been on any other interviews.
Right.
His next interview will be with us.
Right.
Again, Tony came down here. He was going to shoot a whole bunch of Tuesdays with Tony, and that happened to be Jeff's first week on the job. So we had, we had a little difficulty there.
Okay.
So I will promise you, when Tony's in studio very soon, we'll shoot a whole bunch of episodes with Tuesdays with Tony Atlas, but we'll also do an interview with him where we will discuss a lot of things, one being the passing of Dan Marotti.
Right.
And he will speak about the passing of Dan Marotti.
I wonder what he's got to say.
Been confirmed.
Okay. Okay.
There's a lot of things that Tony tells me that he hasn't shared, I guess, on any kind of interviews before.
Of course.
One being, we were discussing, obviously, I think if everybody remembers, Tony Atlas's character now is being betrayed on the Young Rock, right?
Right, yeah.
So that was a deal that Tony got with us through the show when we negotiated that, and Tony did pretty well with it.
Hells yeah.
And the question was really, was it really like that, Tony, the way the show is portraying it. So I'm not going to give any more than that. But Tony will discuss the Young Rock also. So that being said, if you, I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for Monty and the Pharaoh, Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner Bart Griggs. A part of the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. You can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Hear them on Spotify, Apple Music, and Reverb Nation. If you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler and broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. Catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, Monty and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, Channel 115 every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. to 11 and 11:30 p.m., where we're up against Saturday Night Live. And we're, what are we at, 102,000 viewers weekly on cable.
And counting.
And part of Amazon Music. We want to thank Amazon Music for putting us on. Again, this is the point where we would say we'll be right back with Abdullah the Butcher, but Abdullah had some technical issues. So what we're going to turn this into basically is maybe, I was thinking, I might interview you.
Can I go on the couch?
Would you like to go on the couch?
I would love to go, but wait a second. We'd have to set it all up and all this other crap.
Hours,
yeah, I'll sit right here. You got wine? We'll see.
We'll be right back with Monty interviews the Pharaoh and get your questions out there, guys.
Oh, please, wait. Be nice. See you in a sec.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP.
5 seconds. 3, 2.
Can we get some close-ups too? We got kind of like a one-camera shoot, just so you know.
That's fine.
I think we're on.
Are we on?
I think we're on.
We're on. Look, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh.
Number one.
Where things are just getting better every day. Getting better every day. Jeff, you got your microphone on?
He's thinking
Yeah.
about it.
All right, good. It's on. So before I interview the Pharaoh, and feel free to ask Pharaoh questions
No,
too,
please.
Jeff. But I want to ask you,
This is just...
we're in this venture now. We've got such great shows as Family Business.
We have family business.
Yeah.
We have. I can give you the whole thing.
No, I don't want you to give me the breakdown.
Okay.
I don't want to give the breakdown. All I'm saying is, how was your first week? Look, Jeff, honestly, we're busting balls, but was it very stressful, or how did it make you feel?
Extremely.
Extremely...
I was basically.
It made you feel extremely, or it was extremely stressful?
Extremely stressful. Let's put it this way: when you guys were, usually you go to me and you ask me, how you doing this week, and my answer today was going to be, Calgon, take me away.
Calgon, take you away.
But what is
Ancient
so difficult with the producing? Like you've been practicing at home. I'm remember to understand. Like, why does it go as fucked up as it's been going?
Because there are a lot of unknowns.
A lot of unknowns. Like turning on the power to a camera.
No.
Oh,
I mean,
that's kind of like a secret unknown, right?
Making sure things are plugged in.
There are. Let me just say this, Mike.
Good.
Mike, let me just say this.
Yeah, sure.
You're the boss.
Yeah. I am the boss.
What you say goes.
You got it.
But you know as well as I do, there are some people out there who think they're the boss.
Understood.
Right?
Who's that?
And driving me crazy.
So that being said, all I care about and all the fans care about is next Thursday and next Friday. There is not one problem. Not one, because we've got Jesse the Ventura in here. And that's it. So anyway, here we go.
He's not going to start a brand new conspiracy theory after he comes here, is he? Oh, jeez.
All right.
Love you there, Jesse.
Are you ready?
I've been. Am I ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X, probably brings to you, it's WWE.
Jimmy Farrow.
Oh, no. What?
Welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me down here,
We're
man.
glad to have you down
I
here.
appreciate it.
It's an honor to have you
Love
here.
the show. I'm a big fan.
Excellent.
You guys do good
Excellent.
work. Thank you.
So let me ask you, Jimmy. You're a well-known musician.
Yeah.
You've traveled the world with many bands.
Yeah, when I wasn't running from police.
You've
yeah.
become a very popular television co-host.
Yeah, I got like personality and stuff. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
Where does it start, Jimmy? Where does it start?
Where does it all start?
Yeah.
You mean like the thoughts that maybe I'm not going to be an accountant or a dentist start?
Sure.
Yeah, well, probably back in high school. You remember those days.
Right.
You know, back in those days, I guess I just kind of figured out at an early age I liked music very much and I wanted to do music. And I just started to go after it. I didn't really play a particular instrument like a Prodigy, like a Randy Rhoads would play
Right.
guitar. And I certainly didn't have the range of a Ronnie James Dio.
Okay.
But I had my influences, so I basically took, like, the Beatles were my template, and I figured if I can apply how they wrote music, and if I can somehow emulate that sort of style, maybe I can develop my own thing. And it went from there. I just started to... I was very fortunate. I wasn't in 1,000 bands. I was only in 2 bands over the course of almost 20 years. So I was kind of lucky that way.
But
But
let
I
me-
found good players.
let me ask you this,
And was able to convince them that I'm a natural performer. Let me go out and do my thing. And I
Right.
can actually sing in tune. And I got better and better the more I did it.
You grew up though in Long Island,
Yeah.
on Long Island,
Beautiful
New
Long
York,
Island,
right?
yes.
And there's certain expectations of
Yeah.
families and stuff like that.
Crushing
It's a ballsy-
expectations.
A
Yes.
ballsy move to chase music. What kind of pressure was that as a young man with your
Horrible.
parents with
Horrible.
an expectation of something different?
It was rough. It was definitely rough because, you know, and not to get into particulars, but there was a lot of pressure to not do this. There was more of the, you know, you're smarter than that, you should be doing this, or you could be doing that, and to me, I felt that I was, you know, you only live one time, as far as I know, unless, you know, you can prove otherwise. You only really get one opportunity in this world, and I felt that this is my gift, entertaining, playing music, making people laugh. These are my gifts. I almost felt like I'd be robbing people if I didn't do what I felt I was best at. And I felt I was best at entertaining people or music in all different forms, you know. This show to me is just a glorious icing on the cake of a long time of wanting to do things the right way in entertainment. And I'm very fortunate that we've had this show, you know. So that's how I feel about all of that. It took a lot of work and I took a lot of bullshit.
Maria Davis wants to know: were you in any talent shows?
No.
In junior high or senior high school?
Nope, I never was. I never took part. I didn't even go to a prom, as you know. I had no part. I didn't play on the football team, even though when I look back on it, what a rip-off. I should have.
Well, let me ask
You know how we played in the neighborhood.
Let me ask
Damn
you,
it.
back to
You know?
Maria's point.
Yeah.
Here you are a singer.
Yeah.
You want to perform in front of people. What made you choose not to perform in high school?
It hadn't happened yet. Everything for me happened when I got out of high school. Because when I was in high school, I felt like, you know, that song from Smashing Pumpkins, "In Spite of My Rage, I'm Still Just a Rat in a Cage."
Right.
That's how I felt in high school. I felt like I was just in an enclosed capsule that I couldn't bust out of. And when I got out of high school, I got the chance to be free. And decide where I'm going to work and where I'm going to go and who I'm going to be and how I'm going to be it. And it allowed me to not be the person that was confined to high school. It allowed me to become an entertainer. It allowed me to have confidence. It allowed me to be myself, my real self. But that didn't happen in high school.
So
know?
you not that you struggled in high school, but it just wasn't a really good match for you, right?
No, and it's not structure. You see that I like structure.
Right.
This show is structured.
Right.
You know, the band is structured.
Right.
You know, I'm very into structure. But it didn't work for me because of, as Geddy Lee, and I'm going to keep using musical songs as references, subdivisions.
Yeah.
In the basement halls, it was bad. It was bad to me. I didn't feel the energy to even want to be popular, if you understand what I'm saying. There was these terrible subdivisions. And The Breakfast Club is such a beautiful film from the 80s. It kind of shows the subdivisions. And sure, we can all get along under the right circumstances. But shit, we weren't all in detention every day like they were in The Breakfast Club. You know what I mean?
So there's two different worlds, though. You had this world of sports,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. And
Love it.
To be fair to the wrestling fan, I'm just going to say legitimate sport, theatrical sport, which is the pro wrestling
Right,
end,
the wrestling mag back in the day.
and then music. So you had three major portions of your life.
Right.
In each of those categories, who was your major influence?
All right. Well, you want to cover real sports first?
Go ahead.
It started with Thurman Munson, but it really ended with Mark Messier. These are my two favorite leaders. They were both captains of championship teams. Munson I adored as a child and was destroyed when the plane went down and he passed away. And Messier delivered something I've never seen here in this damn city, because we're not old enough to remember Joe Namath. He came here, dealt with a curse, stared it in the face, and said, we're going to win. And I can't believe it, they did. So after 54 years, I actually saw the Rangers win a Stanley Cup. I thought that was an absolute miracle, So those are my heroes as far as, what did you call it? Legitimate sports?
Legitimate sport, yeah.
But, to me, pro wrestling is also...
I want to cut you off real quick, but if I
sure.
came on this show and I didn't know what show this was, right, and I wasn't a regular viewer like we have the lucky viewers here, for
Right.
example,
Sure.
you know what I'd love to see?
What's that?
It would say the Pharaoh when you're speaking, just so you know. So continue on.
Yeah, it should say the Pharaoh.
Yeah, it
Instead,
should.
it looks like some schlub that roots for the Jets.
I'm not saying that. All
This
I'm
is
saying is,
awful.
if I'm really interested, I'd
We
like to
really
listen.
Never mind.
Go ahead. So
I don't
so
know, where
your-
was I? So
your
basically,
influences-
it was like Munson and Messier are like my favorites, but pro wrestling is always going to be Hogan. You know that. I mean, we've done that. We've covered this on the show more than enough. I think it started with Valentine, but it's Hogan.
Wait a minute. Patrick Rose says, reach down and grab some. You two are about to make me puke. Wait a minute.
What's
What
the
do you
problem?
mean, Patrick? What are we saying?
What's going on, Patrick?
What are we saying here?
You're about to make me puke.
Matthew Holland says Abraham Lincoln is eating pizza and drinking soda right now.
Abraham Lincoln? I thought he got
Anyway,
shot in
Patrick
the head.
hasn't answered my question, but go ahead. So your influences in
That's
pro wrestling.
I mean, Hogan. Later on, it was Jericho. Jericho was a huge inspiration to me. I
not
loved
San Martino, not
No.
Morales.
No, Valentine first,
Right.
Then Hogan for many, many years, and then Jericho caught my attention big time. I love Jericho, and I love Jericho because of the most major reason is that he's done rock and wrestling. That guy's good at both. He's the man.
And then music.
Well, music at the end of the day is always going to be John Lennon and Jim Morrison and Ozzy. Those are my favorite three.
By the way,
But I
Mitch
love
Seinfeld is
classical.
saying Jimmy's microphone keeps cutting out.
Is that so?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Thank you, Mitch, for filling us in.
Thank you, Mitch. Yeah, that's not good.
Okay. Go ahead.
Nah, basically those three guys. But I love all kinds of music. I love classical. I started with classical. I mean, the first things I was ever doing was playing. I think I played at Delphi College when I was a small kid. I was doing classical pieces.
Nice.
So I guess it did start kind of early, And I had parts in plays before I came out to Long Island. I did a couple of plays. So I was into the acting. But I'm
Right.
still mad at you, though.
Why?
All these years later for the one thing that I would have done, but you didn't ask me. You asked some schlub. Hey, you want to be Peter Chris and wear the makeup? We're going to lip sync kiss. How dare you not ask the guy?
Honestly,
What a Peter Chris I would have been. I would have been on the mark.
you and I even spoke at that point.
No, we did,
in our high school.
but what happened is that you made the mistake one night of hanging out with my pack of people.
Oh, that's right.
And one of my dopey guys did something really dopey, and then you were like, "Why am I out with these dopey
I'll
guys?"
tell a story. So Jimmy,
Oh no!
Jimmy and I met in junior high, and he turned me on to wrestling.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
thought,
It's my
honestly,
fault.
hated.
My fault.
Patrick Rose says he needs another shot of whiskey. Go ahead, brother.
Patrick, man, have fun with us, bro.
Have fun with us.
What are you
Thank-
drinking, by the way, Patrick? I want to know. I love whiskey, so tell us at least what you're slugging down. Next. I'm serious.
So-
I love whiskey.
So later on, as we advance, we go to high school. Me and Jimmy kind of separated a
Yeah.
little bit.
Well, you were doing your thing. I was
Right,
doing
right.
my thing.
But
you
Jimmy
know.
always had a propensity to find some fine-looking women, and when there were fine-looking women around, I was always available
Yeah, you might-
to be anybody's friend,
Wait,
right?
anybody's friend? You mean after we were close friends and we drifted apart a little, I come up with some fine-looking stuff, and you just, hey, I'll be anybody's friend. This is how I fall back into your world?
So
Wow.
Jimmy
That's
hangs
rough.
out with a different type of band. I think he just mentioned that.
I only had two.
Hey, wait,
two
Phil
bands
says, I've
back in
lip-synced
my
Kiss,
youth.
LOL. I went to Mass as Ace Frehley at Halloween. Very good.
Nice.
Not bad.
Nice.
So
Space Ace.
I go, Jimmy's got some hot chicks, so he's with this crowd that I really wouldn't be around. To
Of
be
course
honest.
not. This
But
was the
they
Manson
They
family.
used to go to Pilgrim State Hospital, which is a famous
First of
rundown
all, let's get
hospital
this
around
clear.
here.
clear.
Good.
It was Edgewood State Hospital
Whatever.
on the Pilgrim State
Understood.
grounds.
Understood.
This matters to us idiots. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
Jimmy
And we're all
his
the way up at the
crew
top.
goes to the top of the roof,
Which
They're
was the
all-
tallest building on
They're
Long
all
Island
hanging
at the
out,
time?
doing whatever you guys do, and I'm focused on the
Whatever
one hot
we-
girl that's on the roof.
Right.
But one of Jimmy's friends or
Yeah.
partners or
He was part of the pack.
part of the group
Right.
decides he's high enough. He
Right.
wants to throw his girlfriend
He's
off the
tripping.
roof. He wants to just
He's tripping.
throw her off the roof to see
Yeah.
if she could fly.
He's on purple mescaline, double
and
barrel.
I'm
Yeah.
watching this, and I'm like,
1986.
Are you effing kidding me?
No, it was
And
ridiculous.
now I start going ballistic on
Right.
the roof
Right.
because this girl's fucking
Right.
screaming for
Right.
her life.
Right.
And I want to kill this guy, and then I
Absolutely.
finally get Jimmy, and I'm blaming Jimmy for
Right.
this.
Right.
Because all
You're
I
like,
could
do you
think is
realize what kind of people you brought me around?
exactly.
Because the next day, if she goes down off the side, that's it. It's in the newspapers and
And Patrick Rowe
Yeah,
wants to
that
know,
was
what do
pretty
you
bad.
think Dickie Slater would do right now?
probably beat the shit out of everybody involved. You, me. If he could get to Patrick, he probably would do that too. Yeah. He'd be trashing us right now. I love Dick Slater, although he wasn't a very nice guy from what I understand.
So, I'm going to ask you this,
Unfortunately.
Jimmy.
Yeah, what do you
I'm
got?
full of questions.
Be careful. Patrick Rill's getting
Weigh in.
He's getting queasy. Be careful.
I want you to weigh in. I know we had a
Weigh
show
in?
about it, but
All
I
right.
want you to, considering the Thursday Night Wars and what they meant to the fans and
Yeah.
what you knew of Dan Marotti, I know you had spoken about it.
Right.
But after everything that happened,
Uh-huh.
what goes through or what went through Jimmy's mind when this went down?
Just disbelief. I thought you were joking with me because, I just didn't, you didn't see it coming, and he was very young. So I was just basically shocked, and then I thought to myself, man, did the business just get to him? I mean, what was it about? I don't know his personal life. I have no idea. It still freaks me out, though, if you want to know the truth. I think it's strange. I just, he was too young, But I do find it amazing, and I am humbled by the fact that people refer to this as the Thursday Night Wars. Are you kidding me? That's a great thing for people to look at it that way. That makes it a lot more
Absolutely.
fun than I remember.
By the way,
yeah.
Patrick Rowe says he's drinking Jim Beam. Now, Patrick, with
Jim
all
Beam,
due respect,
all right.
Jim Beam's pretty cheap.
Yeah, no, it's
cheap
not,
man's whiskey, is
it's
it?
not. I mean, bro, go get some like Eagle Rare or something. Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace, I heard,
Trace
is really good.
Shit. Well, Eagle Rare is like the
Jim
premium.
Beam is like the
It's like
Mad Dog 2020 of wine.
I was
almost.
I was gonna call it like the Meisterbrow of whiskey, but that would be probably rough. Jim Beam's pretty good. It depends on what kind you're doing.
Chris Steve says it was a really terrible situation for Dan, his family, and
Yeah,
friends.
it shell shocked me then, and it still weirds me out now, and I don't think I'm ever going to be comfortable with it because it just came out of nowhere, and he was way too young.
Kevin
That's how it-
Penley wants to know,
Sure. What do you got?
M&P, who would you both say was the best enhancement wrestler ever? And guys, weigh in if you agree with Jimmy's comments, please.
Wow, the best enhancement wrestler ever. Well, I know who my favorite is because I say him all the time, Frankie Williams. But Frankie Williams was back from our day, was from the old days of the late 70s, early 80s. Frankie Williams took a beating. I loved Frankie Williams. But the most successful jobber from that era is, and I almost don't want to call him one, but he was Johnny Rodz. Johnny Rodz was an exquisite example of a really good jobber because you never knew. He did have a chance. He might win a match from time to time. But enhancement talent back then is not what it is today, if it even exists at all today. It's used very, 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 very sparingly.
By the way, Patrick Rowe says, Dickie Slater, Dusty Rhodes, please come back. All right, I got some names for you, though. That's, so who, Frankie Williams is the man for you.
To me, he's the man, but
All right,
I mean...
what about Jay Will says the Mulkey brothers?
The Mulkey brothers? Why am I murky about the Mulkey brothers?
Georgia Championship Wrestling,
Oh,
twins,
shit.
used to get their
Right.
asses kicked, real skinny guys.
Damn, there you go. There was a
Fun.
guy from the Olympic Auditorium that I've mentioned to you before, and you laugh every time I say his name, but you don't remember him. I swear to God, he weighed 90 pounds. Tim Talltree. This guy.
Do not remember that
He
name.
was from the Olympic Auditorium days with your favorite, John Tolos. and Mil Mascaris and a bunch of others out there. This guy, Tim Talltree. Oh, my God.
The man, Mitch Seinfeld, good friend of the show, Johnny Rods.
Johnny Rods is great. Johnny Rods is great. Do you remember when we saw Rods and Estrada get a title shot against Fuji and Saito at Madison Square Garden? And they almost got the fall. The place was going nuts. It was like, I never saw people want Rods and Estrada to win so bad.
You know what? That brings back a great
That
memory.
was a great memory.
Jimmy Finger says Charlie Fulton.
Charlie Fulton was awesome. Okay, what about Charlie Brown?
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown, dude.
ESO says the old man, Barry Horowitz.
Barry Horowitz. Fantastic.
Barry's been in studio.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Barry gets a lot of heat for his Ultimate Warrior comments.
Why?
On our show from
That's
the
how he
interview.
feels about him.
Here's one. Jimmy Finger saying Jose Luis Rivera.
Fantastic.
Who, by the way, will be in studio next Friday as one half of the Conquistadors.
How's Jose, though? Is Jose Estrada another excellent?
So Jose, from what I understand, may or may not be in. He's in negotiation with his agent.
Oh, shit.
So I don't know.
Okay.
It would be nice for both of them to be in here
I would
wearing
love
the
that.
Conquistadors outfit.
that
We
would be
got a
great.
really glorious show for you guys.
That would be
We've
great.
got Jesse Ventura, which is going to be the interview of a lifetime for all of us, for us personally, and for you, the fan.
Out of control.
Okay?
Yep.
And then you've got Tommy Rich, Coco Beware, the Conquistadors. It's going to be, and there may be some singing. Maybe some singing.
There might be, Robert.
Jason Mowing says Iron Mike Sharp was real good in handstand talent. Jason, I've said this before.
He's above it.
I was
I understand
a
that he
huge,
became it,
huge
but-
Morocco fan.
He's had some big matches.
One of my
Mike Sharp.
best memories was Sharp was managed by
Lou Albano.
Albano. He had that arm brace.
Right.
Morocco was the Intercontinental Champion.
And they fought
he
each
had
other.
just come off winning his cage match against Jimmy Snuka. And Albano was managing them both of them for the title, Intercontinental. Morocco was
managing both of
defending.
them.
Yep.
Yep.
And he was working with
He's-
both of them to beat the other. One of my
was great.
favorite matches.
He was right on the border of enhancement talent, but he wasn't. If you know, and so by the way, I used to look at Pretty Boy Larry Sharp this way too. By the way,
Go ahead.
you know, he'd get the occasional win. This was not exactly a pushover.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they both fall into
By the
that
way, can I
category.
ask you now that I'm thinking about it?
Yeah.
Who was the Golden Terror? Was that Larry Sharp?
That's a good question. I'm not
If
sure.
anyone remembers who the Golden Terror is, I
sure.
think it was Larry Sharp, but please correct me.
Interesting.
Jason also says Big Bill Anderson.
Okay.
Phil Descar says Jose and Estrada were the medics in Puerto Rico. Yes, they
Mm-hmm.
were. Rodney Lane says Steve King. You a big fan?
Steve King, man. By the way, he died young. I recently looked up to see what ever became of Steve King, and he passed away young. Kind of sad.
Maria Davis says Stan Lane. I don't know if Stan
Stan
was-
Lane's no enhancement talent. The Stan Lane
I
from
would think so.
The,
Not
the
the-
Midnight Express?
Yes, I think
That's
so.
Stan Lane?
Yeah.
No. That's not enhancement talent. There might be another one, though.
Best conditioned job. This is Jay Will. Best conditioned jobber. You know what? I forgot this guy.
Who?
Chick Donovan.
Wow.
Do you
Yes,
remember Chick
yes.
Donovan?
No, I
That
do.
guy had a look
I do.
and
What
a
about
half.
your buddy Bradley?
Oh, yeah.
What, Bob Bradley?
Bob Bradley.
Bradley was a big dude,
Patrick
man.
Rose says Dick Murdoch, not Slater.
Dick Murdoch, man.
Dirty Dick
I love
Murdoch,
Dick Murdoch,
East-West
man.
connection with Adrian Adonis.
Dick Murdoch,
Awesome
man.
team. I was never a fan of Dick Murdoch.
I love Dick Murdoch. I'm sorry. You know, I've always thought Dick Murdoch was a great Southern brawler and really fit the part.
Oh,
Lived
by the way,
part,
Maria
apparently.
Davis says Nikita Koloff. Nikita wasn't a
What
scrub.
is she? She's fucking
Jason
nuts.
Kessel says Golden
He goes
Terror. Jason Kessel says Golden Terror was Pete Doherty.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Nice.
Thank
Wait
you
a
very
minute.
much.
Pete Doherty, the guy with the arm?
Wait
Was
a
that
minute.
the guy with the arm that George the Animal Steele did?
Yes.
Oh,
but
that
now
was-
Salvatore Viola says Bobby Merrill was the Golden Terror.
Wow.
I don't know who
Wait
Bobby
a minute.
Merrill was.
Robert Merrill? He sings the Yankee Star Spangled Banner. He's not even alive.
J.A. Will says Bobby Cash before Pork Chop Cash. So,
Pork Chop Cash.
okay, let's talk a little.
Interesting.
Let's talk a little wrestling.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So the interview with me is over now,
No,
right?
no,
Oh,
I'm
damn it.
interviewing- No.
I thought
Wrestlers getting of an older age, right? I
Yeah.
think I saw someone
including their fans.
I think
Go on.
someone mentioned Nord the Barbarian in the chat.
All right.
Thoughts on Nord
Fuzzy.
the Barbarian?
Fuzzy thoughts on Nord the Barbarian. I'd have to go back and reevaluate, but to me, I remember it being like, ha, 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 I think.
He was a Bruiser Brody
Is this
ripoff.
supposed to make me laugh?
He was a Bruiser Brody ripoff.
I wasn't.
I remember my father really enjoying him because my
in a
father
funny
liked
way,
the
in a funny way,
in a
in a funny way,
thing.
great. But in general, I was like, that's
Matthew Holland says, have Quincy on the show. I don't know who this guy Quincy is. People keep saying Quincy. I think he was part of Marathi's
Quincy MD?
show. No.
Oh, man.
He was supposed to be part of Marathi's show. I don't remember. I don't know who Quincy is.
I can't say I do either.
Roy says Dick Murdoch looked pregnant his whole career. He did. He looked like he drank a gallon of beer.
He would get a little puffy in the face.
And in the stomach.
He looked like he might be delivering any second. All right, that's fair.
What wrestling match, whether it be a kid, a teenager, or now, changed your life?
Wrestling match?
Wrestling
Wait a
match.
minute. What am I, the guy who cries when CM Punk returns?
No, but
what
seriously,
do you mean?
what wrestling match?
Okay, all right. What wrestling match, I think we should rephrase it a little bit, actually inspired me after watching it. Okay. Hogan versus The Rock.
Why?
Hogan versus The Rock was such a validation for me. At the time, I was working in an office building, and just like many people, and there were actually a healthy amount of pro wrestling fans at this office, which was kind of surprising when I think back on it. A lot of them were very much like what we see today with AEW. A lot of them were WCW guys. And you and me, coming from New York, and this is New York where we grew up on Vince, I considered these guys effing traitors, okay? I'm like, what, you're rooting for Vince McMahon to go down? What are you, an idiot? And they used to root for WCW, and as WCW was starting to sink, they needed a fall man. So instead of blaming Vince Russo, who wrote the show into the ground, instead of blaming all the other factors and all the egos, and everything, they decided it was all entirely Hulk Hogan's fault. Hulk Hogan is done. Hulk Hogan has no more interest in this business. Hulk Hogan's day has come and gone. And I would grit my teeth because we love Hogan. We know what Hogan is. And I knew Hogan is not done. And it's not Hogan's fault that WCW is losing this war. You want to fucking blame one guy for that? Give me a break. I was like, he's going to come back one day, and he's not going to have a goodbye until he has another great moment. And I don't mean like a okay moment. I mean like a Hogan Goldberg moment, Hogan Warrior moment, Hogan Andre moment. You know, I knew it could happen. And when he came back and he fought The Rock, and I also told him, you don't understand how loved this guy is. Have you already forgotten about your childhoods? You already forgotten about Hogan's, everything he, we all rooted for him. You guys are just turncoats now. Give me a break. Hogan fights The Rock, and how many people that night? 70,000 people decide on the fly because Hogan was back home finally. It's like putting that Yankee uniform on again. He comes back for that match, and the fans were like, oh, God, did we miss you? We love you. We're rooting for you. And to Hogan and Rock's credit, they switched roles on the fly. Hogan tore the house down with The Rock, and I felt so vindicated the next day when I went to work. I'm like, so Hogan's done, huh? Yeah, Hogan has nothing left in his tank, huh?
So that was...
Did you see that last night? And honestly, at my age at that time, look, we're not 20 anymore. This match happened, we're in our 30s, getting towards 40. I felt motivated by that because they were all saying he's an old man who's done. And even though I'm years younger than Hogan, I felt inspiration from that. Never count somebody out, especially after they have a body of work like that man did. So yes, that wrestling match inspired
Good
me.
Explanation. Roddy Lane says Bob Backlund for a Superstar Billy Graham title change.
What about?
That was the match that changed his life.
Inspired him? That's awesome. Right. That's awesome.
Jay Will says, don't forget the WWF and NWA interpromotion match, Backlund versus Harley Race.
I love that.
Flair, blah, blah, blah.
I look so much forward to that match when Backlund fought Harley Race.
Problem is, we didn't get him here.
I saw that. That was at MSG.
You did, but how did that go over at MSG?
Fans were very into it. I was very excited by it. Listen, it's 1980. I think it's a full year before or a little less than a year before you and I are like watching Sergeant Slaughter's Cobra Clutch Challenge. That was 1980. Fans were into it. 35-minute match, double DQ or something. Of course, you weren't going to have a winner.
Jason wants to know, when was your first WWF MSG show?
The first time I actually
By the way, we feel fortunate that we got to watch Madison Square Garden Wrestling.
We saw some great
It's funny,
stuff.
Someone explained that to me the other day. I might have heard it somewhere, but MSG was a monthly pay-per-view. Every month.
Yep.
Something you looked forward to. And it was on Monday nights.
Yes.
Always Monday nights.
Yeah.
Once in a while, a Sunday...
Rarely.
What's that called? The
matinee.
Matinee.
Yeah,
Yes.
rarely.
So what was your first Madison Square Garden match?
I would tend to think it might have been with you. I think it was at the Battle Royal that Fuji and Saito, after 13 other men, it was a 15-man over-the-top rope with a cash prize Battle Royal.
Yep.
And the only two left were Fuji and Saito. The crowd was completely into it, the entire match. And Fuji and Saito stop and stare at each other and bow and split the money. Oh, my God. The Garter was so pissed off.
It's funny you remember
How
that.
great was that moment?
Why do you remember that, but you don't remember what the main event was, and it was Morocco
I do remember it.
versus Backlund.
I do.
Was it the 1 hour draw or was it the Texas death match?
The Texas death match.
Texas death match.
And Morocco lost.
Right. And
Right. Great
Why
match.
do you like the Battle Royal more than the Texas death match?
I think for some reason, it's just the visual of Fuji and Saito bowing to each other and taking the money and the fury of the fans is something I remember more than Morocco Backlund, and we were totally into that match. That was an amazing match. Morocco almost won like 17 times during that match. It's a classic, but there's something about Fuji and Saito bowing to each other and taking the money, you know?
So and this goes to the people who watch this too. So I want to understand what they think also.
Right.
It's really it's pretty important. So you've been doing the show for about 2 years.
Yeah.
You've met the who's who of pro wrestling. You're about to meet the great Jesse Ventura.
Okay.
Has the show ruined your feeling for professional wrestling?
No. Has my feelings for professional wrestling been altered due to circumstances from getting involved with doing a show that covers pro wrestling? Sure. You know, I've seen a lot of things that I thought I would never see. I've seen a lot of behavioral weirdness. It's a strange business, but I still would like to believe that the better percentage of wrestlers we've come across kick ass. They're awesome, right? Has it changed how I look at wrestling? Of course it has. Anyone who gets as involved as we've decided to get involved over the last couple of years, yes, it's going to change your opinion on it. Have I lost any respect for pro wrestling? No. Have I gained more respect for pro wrestling? Yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, it's been way more good than bad, but you got to take a little bit of both to get by anyway. So,
Yard Ape wants to know, did you guys
Yard Ape,
save
what
your
up?
old program? So Yard Ape, I'll take that one. We were big magazine collectors.
Absolutely.
PWI, The Wrestler,
Inside Wrestling.
and Inside Wrestling.
Yep.
Every month. Didn't know at the time it was the same writers,
Right.
same distributors.
Right. And
We're
Dan
idiots.
Shockett wasn't real.
Right, same stuff.
And someone else wasn't real. There was someone else who wasn't
between
real.
baseball cards and
Right.
magazines, and you asked about programs in particular.
Yeah.
Again, I'm probably not telling you guys anything new, but no matter what arena you went for that month, it was
Yep.
the same cheap program
Right.
with a paper insert
Yep.
of what the card
That's
was.
right. And one other thing. You could purchase a magazine at those events, but it was not PWI, Wrestler, or Inside Wrestling. It was the one that my magazine was advertised in, the Rings Wrestling magazine,
Nice.
which George Napolitano talked about.
Need you to answer this. Props to
Yeah.
WWE for not dropping or backing down on the Joey Gacy gimmick.
Right.
What is that?
Joey Gacy? He's
Yeah.
a very strange bird. I think he's hilarious personally.
What
Very
is that?
entertaining.
What is it?
I can't say that I could describe him because he's been very bizarre, and I don't watch enough of him to be able to define him, definitively. He's a wackadoo. I might be missing some key points about him, though, that person who made the comment may want to fill in somewhat. But, Oh, by the way, why are they dropping everybody's first names now? Ciampa is not Tommaso anymore.
Well, because
Just thought I'd let you know.
I mean, this is smart marketing.
Do you believe that Ezekiel is Elias's brother? They look so similar.
I want to just answer this. I'm going to give you a quick answer on that because it's marketing 101.
Yeah.
Patrick Rose says, I'm madly infatuated with Ona Z. Well, Ona Z is now part of the
Onazi's
Monty and the
awesome.
Pharaoh Network.
I bow to Ona Z.
This is
Absolutely.
a wonderful addition.
Yep.
Look, guys, the
Good
whole
show.
idea
Good
behind
show.
this is we wanted to build this channel and give people programming for anything they may like. If you
Sure.
like rap,
Right.
we're going to have rap artists.
Right.
If you like actors, you're going to have actors. We've got a porn star like Ona Z.
Hey.
Right? We've got
Hey,
a
yo.
great, the King's Bodyguard. That dude was with Elvis Presley,
Right.
one of the icons,
Very,
right?
very-
And boy, that guy could tell stories.
I wouldn't dare call it an eclectic lineup, but it's definitely a
can't even
diverse
believe
one.
you said that.
Well, I had to do it to see if I could get a chuckle, but apparently
So-
you're still on Hate Factor with that idiot. but
So
go
back,
ahead.
so back, so back on what you said about dropping names,
What do you
right?
got?
It's about marketing.
Sure.
Who was I talking to? I might have been talking to. I was actually talking Tim from Universal Talent Agency,
Okay.
and we were talking about wrestling in general.
All right.
People have to realize, right? This is we're all old school. Everybody on here is old school, right? I'm sure you enjoy some new wrestling, and maybe you enjoy it and love it, but basically we're old school.
Right.
And
Although this past WrestleMania kicked ass.
it did.
Go on.
But we don't always see through the forest, meaning that we're stuck in our ways. Remember when our dad would say, "Oh, DiMaggio was better than this guy."
Yeah, he
or
was
whatever.
right, though. DiMaggio's better than anybody I seen.
My point is that when you're older,
It's
you kind
DiMaggio.
of get stuck in your ways.
Of course.
And wrestling does not play
Does
to
the-
50-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds.
I think wrestling plays to people who like wrestling.
No, it doesn't. It plays to what makes it money. So,
Of course.
Speaking to
And
Atlas,
those people who watch like wrestling.
Speaking to Atlas, Atlas was telling me
Right.
that he really can't watch wrestling anymore.
Right.
We're having a
I wouldn't
discussion.
expect some of the old
And I
school
asked him
guys
why,
to
and he
watch.
said, "Well, because it's changed. It's too gimmicky. It's
Yeah.
too spot festy.
Right, of
it's
course.
too this,
To
and there's
the
no
guys from back then.
storytelling." And I said, "Look, Tony." And I'll ask this question to anybody. I'm going to ask it to you.
Yeah.
We are running a business.
Yeah.
You love this business the way we built it, right? You
Sure.
love wrestling. We built wrestling. We got these storylines, and it's slow and it's methodical.
Yeah.
And you got this whole thing. But, right? And again, you see all these old timers who have these shows or whatever else. They say, wrestling's never been worse. It sucks. This, that.
All right.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
Today's audience wants now.
Right.
The time of building long storylines doesn't work.
Unless it's the tribal family.
Okay? Perfect
It's
example.
worked for Roman.
WrestleMania. This WrestleMania. Vince wanted blood. He
Right.
wanted blood for the last match.
Right.
Nick Khan said, "Vince,
Right.
we're building towards something totally different."
Right.
Right? Probably trying to sell whatever the situation is. You can turn us back 10 years by showing blood like AEW.
The other company. Right.
We cannot do this.
Right.
Vince agreed.
Right.
My whole point is this.
Right.
Wrestling's not dead, dude. It's $1 billion industry now. It's
I
crazy.
completely agree. I completely agree. There's no argument there. Wrestling is
Man, Patrick's
made
ripping
a
us
fortune.
apart today. I thought
What's
he
the
was a
matter
fan.
What's the
He's
matter
like,
with
you
Patrick?
two chumps are spreading out.
What is he talking about?
What is, I don't
Dude, you
even-
can't have my anus. You keep your thoughts to yourself. What is he talking about, spreading out?
The time of the generational wrestling fan is over, Yard Ape says, and he's 100%
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Okay? So my
Exactly.
point to Tony was, Tony, we have a business now, and you built this wrestling organization. I'm like, Tony, we're going to make billions of dollars, not hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Right.
if we just do it this way.
Right. Look, you got to do what the people want, and you got to sell the way the people respond to it. That's the bottom
Jay
line.
Will goes, you mean a program between Buzz Sawyer and Tommy Rich doesn't work? No, it doesn't.
It did back then.
No, that's the problem.
It was good back
That's
then.
misinformation.
What?
It did back then
Yeah.
for the thousands of people who liked Georgia Championship
Correct.
Wrestling.
It was,
the
but that was
thousands.
territorial days.
But the thousands.
It's a different.
It
it's a
wouldn't have
different
worked.
animal.
It
No,
didn't-
not today.
No,
it
but not
won't.
even back then. It wouldn't have worked for the billions back then.
Right. Right.
It worked for the thousands in Georgia.
That's right. And Hogan and Andre worked for the millions.
Thank you.
The end.
And don't you think
course.
the San Martino era fan hated Hogan and hated Andre for what he was doing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can see that.
What was your favorite Starrcade match in 1987?
In
Chi-Town Heat. Well,
I'd have to look at the card.
That's got to be.
I'd have to look at the card. I can't say
The one
that.
thing is we are not walking encyclopedias.
Right.
We have our memories.
Oh, that's right. The first match was so-and-so versus so-and-so
Yeah, right.
in 1987. No,
Yeah.
I don't remember
Well,
that shit, bro.
Jay, who said that? Who was?
But I
asked
like
that?
the question.
Wait a minute, it's a great question, but I gotta find that.
How
Who
about
said
giving
that?
me a
Hold
few
on.
matches to choose from that were your favorites?
That was
and
Robert Hanada. So Robert, I gotta tell you,
Give us
straight
some
up,
of the
bro,
matches, bro.
My brain
I
is
can't
limited,
remember.
and I had to eliminate some of the junk floating around in it.
That's-
right. And
that
I can
might-
only remember
that-
the great memories.
It might be like those couple of 2 out of 3 falls matches from back in the day had to get out of that filing system.
Crystal Moore. That shit is asking. Has Tony spoken about Dan Marotti lately? So I think I announced earlier in the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
Tony was probably going to come next week to join Ventura and everything, but he's
Mm-hmm.
booked somewhere else. And Tony and Monty DeFaro show will be doing Tuesday night with Tony. Again, there's no bullshit going on here, guys. I'm not going to tell you something's going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? But there is tech issues. Like Abdullah was supposed to be on tonight. If he can't get his sound working, we're not going to put on shitty sound, okay?
Right.
This is a television studio,
Right.
and we've got a lot of sponsors we've
Sure,
got to report to.
sure.
Now, again, maybe Mr. Patrick Rowe might think, I'd rather hear a shitty Abdullah Bush than these
This
two
guy's
assholes.
after all leg spreading.
I don't
on
know, but
sphincters. I don't know
my
what he's
point
talking
is,
about. Keep hitting the whiskey pad. It'll get better. Trust me.
I guess Rick BS is an update on Marty. Maria says Marty's doing well. I'm glad you're talking to him. I texted Marty last week, and he
is
seems
Marty?
okay.
He's all right?
I actually, when I spoke to him on the phone, I don't think I've ever heard a better
Wow.
Marty Jannetty.
Very good. Very good. Good deal.
Yard Ape wants to go, will Nord the Barbarian have a soft landing with Monty and the Pharaoh? We will never have Nord the Barbarian on this show. I'm being honest.
You could see the disappointment in my face. Oh,
The
no.
guy literally sounds.
What?
The guy literally
You know.
sounds like a total dope.
Really? Nice.
You haven't heard him?
No, I can't say I have.
He sounds like he's 10 sheets to the wind, which I guess people like.
Okay.
But he talks like, I can't even imitate him.
How
dude.
about that guy who looks like Yosemite Sam? Is he going to be ever coming on? Or
No,
does he-
that guy will never.
Right. Right.
Wait a minute. Patrick Rose says, this ain't no game. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Are you all right, bro?
What is wrong with him? Is
I
he
don't
drinking
know.
too much?
I have no idea.
Patrick, please be careful. Stop drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call the wife. Have her put you under the covers. Tuck you in.
Oh my God.
Give you a kiss on the forehead.
Maybe a nice hot water bottle.
Nice water bottle, not by your penis because you'll pee in the bed. You're 50-something years old. We don't want you pee in the bed because then you have to wash your sheets.
Yo, man, this shit be real. What are you talking about, bro?
This ain't no game.
This ain't no game, mofo.
This ain't no game.
Stick to wrestling, Pat. Next.
So,
What you got?
let's see. I see Uncle Dan behind Mike with a frying pan. That's Matthew Holland. That guy Matthew Holland's pretty funny. This dude has comments all the time.
wait.
Every show he's got something going.
Behind Mike with a the ghost? What are you talking about?
Rodney Lane says
That's
Sky
fucked
Low.
up.
I would love to have Sky Low on the team, on the show.
It might be a little hard. He's not with us yet.
I know he is.
You know, I mean, he wouldn't have much to say.
I was trying to be funny.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who's your ultimate guest on that couch?
Bob Backlund.
No. Okay. Of the guests we had,
Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund and Bob Backlund.
If you could have anybody,
Bob Backlund.
it still would be Backlund.
That was the
I don't
greatest thing.
believe it.
Wait. Are we going beyond the realms of pro wrestling?
Sure.
Anybody
Anybody.
to sit on that couch.
Got to be alive.
Oh, that kind of changes it.
By the way,
Oh.
Jason Monin wants to know, is it possible to bring Al Snow back in? Of course.
That would be great.
Al Snow will be back in.
That
In
would be
fact,
great.
I will tell you that, oh my God, Big Vito's coming in,
Right.
and Shane Douglas will be
Right.
back. No,
Right. What's your answer for
you
that?
guys
I
are
like that
actually
question.
love Nord. You guys are on tonight. You guys would
Thank you.
actually love Nord.
You think we
guys
would?
are on
Why?
tonight. That's
why
Phil.
why would we love Nord?
Rodney Lane says Backlund was the best. That was the best interview. dude.
That was fantastic. I love that. I thought that was the greatest. Oh, to answer that question from before,
Yeah.
If it was a wrestler, you know damn well that if Hulk Hogan walked in here, a plane could hit me the second I walk out the door. I'm done. I'm good.
Good.
I've interviewed Hulk Hogan.
Right.
As far as musician go, John's not with us anymore. Lennon, Jim's not with us, but Ozzy still is, and I would love to have Ozzy on that couch.
Fair enough.
Could you imagine? Oh my God.
My favorite guest that we've had on the show
Bob Backlund.
was Backlund,
Right.
because what he meant to me.
Yeah.
I will tell you, my ultimate is happening Friday.
Yeah, I
Jesse
know,
the Body
Jesse's
Ventura
your
for
guy.
me is happening, and
Yep.
I will be in a suit. I will make that announcement.
Wrestler that gave Mike Monty the most butterflies before he interviewed them live on Monty and the Pharaoh.
Wow. That would be
'Cause I know-
most butterflies.
I know that a certain $1 million man made you pretty.
$1 million? No, you know what? No. I'm going to
you
tell
were
you.
fairly, like,
I was,
wowsy.
I was
wow.
like, because he's an icon.
Okay.
But,
But
I was.
butterflies,
we were,
though,
we
like,
were in the
holy
car.
shit,
No,
like-
Backlund was butterflies.
Was it really?
Yeah, no, because the immense. Not that I don't respect everybody that walks through these doors, but Backlund was. He's an icon.
Most pleasant, like, holy shit, I had no idea the guest could be so cool moment.
Wow.
Because I know what mine are. Mine are, I'll give mine quick if I can. There's two.
Yeah.
Where I was nervous as could be coming in here those days.
Yeah.
And they turned out to both be good Very cool people, friends of the show. New Jack, oh my God, what a great guy he was. And Sabu, holy crap, I was so nervous about Sabu that day. And Sabu was a fantastic human being. How about you?
Tonga Kid.
That was awesome. He was great.
He was pretty incredible.
He was great.
And Mike Knox.
Mike Knox? You were all up in arms about Mike Knox coming in?
No, not up
No,
in
I'm
arms.
saying like someone who made you like all nervous from their rep.
So New
You know,
Jack.
like-
New Jack, I was
Yeah, like
worried.
New Jack and Sabu, I was both like, oh God. And they
By the way,
turned out to be
Patrick
great.
Rose says, this
What
is
is
the
he
Patrick
doing?
Rose show.
What is he
Everybody's
doing?
saying, I love Backlund. Here's Patrick Rose. Bob Backlund reminds me of Howdy Doody.
Patrick Rowe's a miserable dude. What's the matter with him?
He's drinking cheap
Actually,
whiskey.
you know, it's fair to say that, though, because we hated Backlund. We called it, Patrick, not for
How
nothing.
could you not respect
We
Bob
called him Howdy.
Backlund?
Yeah, you got to respect him. We respected him when we hated him back in the day. You know?
Oh, wait a minute. Maria Dave says Virgil had 2 strokes. Yeah, I read that somewhere.
Yeah, what's going on with Virgil?
Virgil was kind of crazy.
He was kind of cool.
Dude, we've had a lot of people in this band.
But you know what I remember us bugging out about? That was when Corona was at its height, and Virgil's like with no mask. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Unbelievable.
Jason says, love Backlund before reading his book, loved him more after reading his
That
book.
book is the best wrestling book I've ever read. That's just my opinion.
Jay Will says, Tonga Kid's a great racquetball player. He was a member of my gym in the 1990s and a member of the SST in WCW. Nice guy and a good family. Totally agree,
Yep.
man.
Very cool.
Awesome,
Very cool.
awesome man.
Yep. He was great.
So, Abdullah wasn't in.
Oh,
But
yeah,
one
we
of
don't
the,
need this, by the
but
way.
one of the
obviously.
questions I was going to ask, and I want you to answer this,
All right.
was
If I can.
clearly Abdullah was going. We were going to talk about his GoFundMe page,
Yeah.
things like that.
All right.
So the question I was going to ask Abdullah was: you claim that you need money,
Here it comes.
right?
Yeah.
But you've had many, many businesses. Mm-hmm. You've traveled the world as a pro wrestler.
Mm-hmm. For decades.
How is it humanly possible
He claims.
to be able to run businesses
And he claims that.
and make money
Right.
like that level
Right.
and not be able to read and write?
I don't believe it. Personally, I don't believe it. I would have loved to have heard his explanation on it, but I don't believe it. How's that possible? He seems like he's a very sharp guy, by the way.
And by the
So,
way, guys, if you
I
can
find it hard to
donate
believe.
to Abdullah the Butcher's GoFundMe page, it's GoFundMe, help me to help Abdullah the Butcher. He needs help. He's right now got $4,000 collected out of $50,000. So if you're willing and you have a little extra cash, by all the means, share it and donate now for Abdullah the Butcher.
I think Hannibal should donate.
So Rodney Lane's asking,
No,
do
huh?
the wrestlers get paid for the likenesses of the Young Rock? Yes, so Rodney, I negotiated a deal for Mr. Tony Atlas, and Mr. Tony Atlas was paid for his likeness.
Yes.
We also had Brett Azar in studio. For what I understood, for Brett Azar, he was being paid about 6 figures, mid 6 figures for his role for the Iron Sheik.
Nice.
I would have to think that might have been lower, considering that he literally has a very bit part in it.
Right.
Jay Will says, I would have been scared of Billy Jack Haynes.
Yeah, he's...
Were you scared of Billy Jack Haynes?
No.
That dude was batshit crazy.
He was bad.
He was
I
as
wasn't
crazy
scared of
on
him,
the
though.
in life as he was in the interviews. All right,
I was scared of Abdullah. I thought Abdullah was
Can I tell a Billy Jack story?
You sure can, Matty.
All right, so
Go ahead. Good old Billy
I'm
Jack.
driving one day.
He's great.
Guys, this is a true story. I'm driving. Phone's ringing. Right? It's from Portland, Oregon.
Wow, you remembered your number.
It's from Portland, Oregon.
Right.
So I'm not thinking. I'm like, what the fuck?
Who
I pick up.
Who do you think it is?
Monty. Yeah. It's Billy Jack Haynes. Like,
By
hey,
the
what's
way.
up, man? How you doing?
How you doing there, bud?
Love doing your show.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen. I need to know one thing. What's up? And this is what this guy's thinking about. I don't even know how this is happening.
Right. Long
And this
distance.
is
Long distance.
This is in the height of him like trying to work that gimmick with Hannibal, you know, by the way.
Oh, okay.
He's like, what's the deal with that fucking Eric Sims?
Eric
He wants to know about Eric Sims.
What is he-
And it becomes an hour-long conversation. By the way, I got to say this. Patrick Rose says,
What is going
funny
on?
funny guys, looks, but looks aren't everything.
Wow, man. So what old joke book did you take that one? It's
pretty good.
You got to blow
So
the dust
he wanted
off
to
of
go
that
into
one.
Eric Sims, and then he wanted to tell me
Get
how
more creative, Patrick.
how
Go
Eric
ahead.
Sims was ripping him off.
Shit.
And he was tired of being taken advantage of by Eric Sims. And this went on for literally an
Did
hour.
you let Eric Sims know?
I did.
And what did he have to say?
The guy's batshit crazy.
Wanted to tell me never to speak to Eric again,
Okay.
and that he would work directly with us without Eric.
Right.
And, you know, whatever. And
That
I'm
went
like,
down with the red
you
balloon."
know, I'm
Right.
kind of like, you know,
Yeah,
Eric's a business partner of ours,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. And, you know, and that was pretty much, you know, and then he asked if we could put over the Hannibal thing with him, which we did.
Right.
We played into it, which we knew it was a gimmick.
Right,
and
right,
that
right.
shit went over like a lead balloon because
Right.
Hannibal can't sell shit.
No. No.
That's why he's not a wrestler.
You know when he
it's
was
not
at
the
his-
Hep
do you know when
C,
he was
it's
at
not
his-
any of that.
do you
The
know when
dude is just awful.
Let me tell you, though, he did hit a pinnacle.
What?
All right? And you
Good.
know when it was?
What's that?
When he had the balls to show up here and knock on the door. Don't start personally insulting me. That was actually entertaining.
All right, we're almost out of time.
But that was us.
We're almost out of time. I want to thank
yeah.
everybody for hanging in there.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you guys. We do apologize again for... Yard Ape says, looking at Eric Sims wants to make me shower. You know what my wife says every time I put
They didn't give him food. Or they wouldn't let him use the bathroom. Remember that?
Oh, that's right.
That was we're sitting having breakfast with Demolition.
Yes, that's right.
And they wouldn't let him use that bathroom.
That's right.
And then the owner comes over. I don't like that guy. Let him pee outside.
That's right.
I'm
I
what
forgot
the
all
fuck?
about
And
that.
we're all laughing. Demolition's like, and he's the guy representing them. They're like, oh, you got to go
My
pee on the
wife
sidewalk.
goes, why do you keep on putting him on his show? I goes, because he's a business partner.
Yeah,
She goes, it makes me want to throw up.
That is rough. Oy. Well, you know, Eric's probably taking a nap right now. So.
Chris Memphis says Abby
Oy.
put everything in his wife's name due to the Hannibal Hep C lawsuit. So,
Well,
real quick before we cut out, do you think, in your personal opinion, Abdullah the Butcher gave Hannibal Hep C?
I have no idea. I really don't even know how to answer something like that. I mean, were they able to prove it? How did that work out in court? Like, yes, we took the vial from you and the vial from it's your Hep C.
So the big
I
thing
mean,
was
I don't
is
know.
Hannibal claims that he lost a substantial amount of money because he was going to be a wrestler for
Right.
the WWE.
Right.
The
right.
court tended
Which is,
to
again,
agree
no
with him.
guarantee.
Well, I will tell you this:
You know?
if what he does,
What was Vince going to do with him?
but no, what I'm saying is, with what he does and what like. There's no way he was going to go to the WWE.
No,
there's
that's-
not any chance in
Right,
hell.
right.
Did he get Hep C?
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a far stretch for the court to speculate on, to that level. Well, he probably was going to go to WWE. How the fuck would you know? So, speculation shouldn't win court cases. Facts should win court cases, but...
All right. Well, anyway, send us. We want to thank you guys. Now, don't forget, next Thursday we have our show, and then Friday's the marathon. Do not miss Tommy Wildfire Rich. Do not miss Coco Beware.
Beware.
Do not
Do
miss
not miss.
the
Warning,
Conquistadors.
warning. Do not miss. Yeah. You got others.
Yard Ape says Hannibal mentioned he was with rats. What, ring rats or real rats?
Put the lotion
Did
on the
anyone ever
mouse.
find, what's her name?
Put the lotion on the mouse.
Did anyone ever find Blaze?
No. Where is she?
I haven't seen her.
Oh, man.
I'm serious. When's the last time anyone's seen Blaze?
You think that hole in the
All right,
basement?
and don't forget,
the hole in the
the
basement.
former governor, Jesse Ventura, will be in house. All right, so you want to send us on the way there, buddy?
All righty, folks.
Thank you, Maria. Love you guys, all of you, even you, Patrick Rowe.
Slapdrick.
Please, Patrick, seriously, my friend, it's been a long night. Put some diapers on.
Oh, my God.
Right? Don't make a mess in your bed. I don't know if you have kids, but if they see that you peed in your bed, it's not going to be good.
Not good at all.
You know what's great being on this side of the camera?
How dry
you can
I
say all you
am.
want about me, but boy, I tell you, I look at some of these profiles and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
please stay in the basement.
Yeah, that's rough.
All right.
You've been watching.
Wait a
Monty
minute, probably both.
You
Your name
haven't
says
been
probably both, but rats can and Hep C. Phil says, great show, even without Abby. Good night. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
J.A. Tommy Rich was the man back in the day. He still is the man. Jason, awesome show. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Send us out. Sorry, Farrell.
You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh. And until next week, later.